Hello children, today we are going to discuss forest our lifeline. First, what is forest? Children, forest is a large area of land covered thickly with different kinds of trees, shrubs, herbs, grasses, creepers and climbers. Forest is a home to many animals and plant species. Forests cover approximately one third of the Earth's total land surface, or we can say roughly around 3.9 billion hectares. Excluding the polar region, as you know, polar regions they are covered by ice, and Greenland. How do plants and animals depend on each other in a forest? Why are forests important for us? Why are forests being cut at a faster rate? How has deforestation led to drastic changes in our environment? All these things we will discuss in this chapter. Children, first we are going to discuss structure of a forest. Okay? Or we can say profile of a forest. The type of vegetation and animals found in different forests vary. Vary means change. It depends on the climatic condition of the region. Okay, the forest is situated in rainforest are there, temperate, tropical. So it depends on the climate of the place. A forest consists of different layers of vegetation. The three main layers of a forest starting from top, canopy, and four main layers, sorry children. A forest consists of different layers of vegetation. The four main layers of a forest starting from the top to ground are canopy, then crown, understory, and forest floor. Okay children? Now one by one we will take up this. First is canopy layer. Children, sometime we merge these two layers, canopy and crown. But here in our book they have given separately. The forest top layer consists of the branches and leaves of tall trees forming a kind of roof. Forming a kind of roof or umbrella over the smaller trees and other plants in the forest. So the uppermost branches and leaves of tall trees which acts like roof or umbrella over the forest like plants, smaller trees in the forest is called canopy. Clear children? Now come to the second layer, that is crown. So in canopy you are seeing only the upper portion we have included, but in this the branches and the lower part of this comes in crown. Okay, so it has tall evergreen trees with large green leaves. The branches overlap each other and forming a continuous cover of dense leaves. This layer is so dense that children, this layer, these two together, I am talking about canopy and crown. These two layers, they are so dense that very little sunlight penetrates through it and reaches to this lower layer of the forest. A large variety of birds, bats, monkeys, and insects live here. Some animals live solely in the canopy region. I will tell you about those animals. Okay? They do not come down, they stay there only. Sloth and all. They do not move down to the ground at all. As I have given example, sloth. It lives on branches. Now we are coming to the understory. The layer of vegetation in a forest just below this crown is called understory. It mainly has different horizontal layers below the tall trees. Just you are seeing the layer. This is the layer of smaller trees. Okay. which are shrubs and tall grasses. These are shrubs and tall grasses. In this category, what comes? Shrubs and tall grasses. The lowest layer is formed of herbs, which examples are orchids, palms, and ferns grow in this region. A large variety of insects, birds, snakes, lizards, and carnivores, predators such as jaguars, pythons, and leopards, they live here. Okay, children. Now come to the forest floor. The lowest one is the forest floor. This region receives very little amount of sunlight. This is like roof. It does not allow light to come here, and children, a very little light penetrates, as I told you. So this region receives very little light amount of sunlight. Only plants adapted to grow with very less light. So here, which plants are adapted to grow? Which can grow in very less light, okay, and can survive in this damp region. Damp, warm, and dark region of the forest. The forest floor has various kinds of small leafless plants. So here, what kind of plants grow, children? Like mosses, which are not having leaves. They do not trap sunlight because they are not getting sunlight. Mosses and lichens. The floor is covered with a layer of dead and decaying leaves, fruits, seeds, twigs and small worms. A large variety of insects, millipedes. Children, these are the names of the insects. Millipedes, ants, and beetles are found on the forest floor. The largest animal in the forest, such as tigers, lions, bears, deer, etc., live on the forest floor. Children, we are going to discuss uses of forests. Forests play a major role in our life. Early humans gathered food and were dependent on the forest for all their basic needs, such as food, clothing, and shelters. So we depend on forests for several other things, directly or indirectly, or we can say that everyone depends on forest directly or indirectly. Now first, forest is a source of wood. First I told you it's a source of wood. All plants, we get wood from plants. A variety of trees growing in the forest like teak, shisham, rosewood. What are the examples? Teak, shisham, and rosewood. Okay. And sal are the examples. Okay. Good quality of wood is used to make furniture, boats, sports good, and for constructing houses. Second use, a source of variety of products. Forest is a source of variety of products. Several plants that grow in forest are used in the preparation of medicines. Okay, preparation of medicine. Many medicines we get the raw material from the plants. Okay, medicines like quinine. The bark of cinchona tree is the source of medicines called quinine. Children, this quinine is for the treatment of malaria. Okay, so we get this quinine from cinchona tree, used for treatment of malaria disease. A few trees contain a substance known as Taxol, which help Children, this thing I am telling you extra, it is not in the book. Taxol, which helps fight certain type of cancer. Turpentine is a kind of oil. Turpentine oil we say. Okay. So turpentine, which is produced from resin or gum of pine tree. So turpentine is produced from pine tree, is used for thinning paints and varnishes. So this liquid is used for thinning paints and varnishes. Rubber, third thing, children, you know, tires and all are made. The rubber we get from the, for making tires and all, we get rubber from the plants. Rubber come from rubber trees. Okay. Gum, some eatable gums are there. They are very useful for our health. Okay. We get from babool and kikar tree. Some oil extracted from the tree like eucalyptus oil. You must have learnt about or heard about eucalyptus oil. Okay. From the tree, eucalyptus tree we get. Okay, so these are the sources. Variety of product we get from the plant. Okay, source of these things are only forest. Now next we are going to discuss forests maintain balance of gases. Forest maintain, third we are discussing, maintain balance of gases. Forests maintain the natural balance of carbon dioxide and oxygen. All you know, plants, they take in carbon dioxide for photosynthesis process and give out large amount of oxygen, and that is used by all the living beings. Okay. So we say forests purify the air and serve as green lungs in nature. Now next importance of forest is, forests maintain water cycle in nature. Maintain water cycle. In nature. Okay. All you now you have knowledge of transpiration. Water gets evaporated into the atmosphere by leaves of plants by the process known as transpiration. All you have knowledge of this. So water vapor form clouds and fall on the earth as rainfall. Thus, forests increase rainfall in the region. Now next is our next importance. It prevents soil erosion. What is, children, soil erosion? The removal of soil, fertile soil from one place to other place by heavy winds and water, heavy rainfall. Okay, so it means fertile soil is there, it moves, shift from one place to other place, it gets wasted. So these forests, if we grow plants over there, so that is going to prevent soil erosion. The removal of top fertile soil from a region by wind, rain or running water is called soil erosion. Forests prevent soil erosion. The roots of trees bind the soil and save it from being washed away by water or rain or blown away by the wind. Thus, forests prevent soil erosion and help in the conservation of soil. Next, children, endless list is there. Importance of forest. Now next is number 6. Forest prevents flood and replenish groundwater. Prevent flood and replenish groundwater. Replenish means renewed groundwater. We are using groundwater, and just because of forest, it is again stored in this place. Okay, forests act as a big check dam in the region. They slow down the forest of rainwater, reduce its force, and helps control floods. The trees in the forest allows water to percolate in the ground. Percolate means it to go down. This helps in replenishing the groundwater in the region. Number 7, forests provide food and shelter to wildlife. Provide food and shelter. All you know, it's a home of many animals. So it provides food and shelter. Many plants and animals are found in forest. Forest is their natural habitat. Many tribal people of our country live in forest. One example I am giving you, Andaman and Nicobar, and also Santhal, Bhil, you must have heard, Garo, Khasi, Jayantia in Nagaland. So these tribal people of our country live in forest. They get food, shelter, water and medicine from the forest. Next is, it reduces pollution. Reduce pollution. As you know, it gives large amount of oxygen, absorb carbon dioxide and reduce its concentration in the atmosphere. Trees bind soil particles together and decrease the dust contamination. Children, dust do not blow. These dust particles are called suspended particulate matter, and they are very harmful for our lungs. Number 9, next is recreation. For our enjoyment, like many people, they visit to the forest to see the wildlife. Some forests have been developed into recreational park. In these park, people may enjoy camping, hiking and trekking, and also go for relaxation. Okay children, that's all.